Okay, so this is going to be something a little different. I'm going to let John kind of explain the premise because I had him on Wan's show like 2 months ago. It was way too long, and we were like, yeah, we need to do a collab. And then I was traveling, and then he had some goofball Apple event. He had to something or whatever. I wasn't there. Now we're finally doing it. We are going to have the ultimate debate, iOS versus Android. But, John, how's it going to work?
All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to make this fun. Here's what we're going to do. So it's been 2 months since I was on Linus's show. We want to debate iOS versus Android, but we figure instead of one of us picking a side, we're going to do it two-face style and flip a coin for who's going to get what side. And if you want to watch my part, obviously watch it on my channel. If you want to watch Linus's part, hit the link down below and go watch it on his channel so you can get a better sense of what he's got to say, and we can run through everything together. So,
and of course, my video is going to have all John's stuff linked below as well.
We're doing this live, folks. All right, heads is iOS, tails is Android.
And we're flipping for my topic.
We are flipping for your topic. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. We're flipping for your losing topic, I should say. Tails. Look at that. We mixed up. You are going to be on the losing side of Android, and I am going to talk about the glory that is iOS.
All right, well,
So I will give the microphone to you, and tell me why somebody, if they're picking a phone, should pick Android and not even look at the beautifully crafted workmanship that comes out of Cupertino.
All right, well, we're going to start right off with the beautifully crafted workmanship, which is a big load of bollocks right off the hop here, because Android has a customizable experience, so you're not locked into, well, gee, what if I actually wanted more than just a 5x4 grid of icons on my home screens that I can swipe to and from just like this, and nothing other than that. With Android, you can change up your launcher, you can throw an Aviate launcher on there. I mean, iOS, did you see Tim Cook on stage talking? I don't even remember who it was. It was some guy from Apple, doesn't really matter, talking about how now when you wake up in the morning, you can fire up your meditation app contextually from the lock screen. How is that a feature? There's two things you can launch from the lock screen. You can launch your camera, which, by the way, on my Android device is as simple as wiggling, whether it's locked or not locked. Wow, oh, so fast, so amazing, what innovation. And you can launch your contextually, sensitive app, which who knows if it's going to be right. What if I don't want to meditate that morning? What if I want to check my email? What if it's going to wreck my meditation that I can't see my email before I meditate? Is that innovation on the iOS side?
So part of me feels like we should be doing this epic rap battles of history style and just like drop the mic.
Yeah, go.
I could do it in like Tim Cook. I could put some gray in my hair and do it. All right, this is going to be a really easy slam dunk debate. So you said it was so cool you could twist your Android phone to launch it. What if you pick up another Android phone and try and twist it to launch it? Is it going to do it? Nope, because you, my friend, have too much fragmentation. Maybe one phone does it, maybe another phone doesn't. Let's say you upgrade from your last generation Moto X to a new Nexus 6, for example, and you're like, oh, great, I know how this is going to work. You do not know how that's going to work. You got to learn something brand new with every version of Android. Maybe you're running something that was 2 years ago. Operating systems are not always going to be the same, so you're not always going to get the same experience on your devices. Let's say you're stuck on a Galaxy S5, for example, Galaxy S4. You're very unlikely ever going to have the latest that Google has to offer, which means you are like wide open, legs spread, waiting for viruses. I mean, you just come at me, Trojans. Come, just give it to me all. You're looking at an open source OS, which means they're open source problems. Customization always sounds great in theory. In reality, your experience is not going to be the same. Yeah, you can customize. How many people are going to go through and actually download OS, is going to tweak skins? Most people that get a phones, our audiences perhaps aside, use the out-of-the-box experience. The out-of-the-box experience on iOS is so easy and so seamless, and that's the beauty of what Apple provides. And let's take that out of the equation completely and say you disagree. App experience. So much simpler. Apps are designed for iOS to work across all iOS devices. You pick up an Android phone, your app experience might be incredibly far off. And don't even get me started on the tablet experience. There are not that many tablet apps available for Android. You get apps that are designed for iOS. And beyond that, you're getting excellently crafted hardware. You know what you're going to be getting hardware with Android. Maybe you're going to get something from Huawei that's made of plastic. Maybe you can get something from Samsung that uses glass. You don't know. The experience is never going to be consistent. Maybe like Android from one phone, you might hate it the next generation. Apple offers consistency. You know what you're getting. You know it's going to work. And they also offer an ecosystem, a seamless ecosystem that's going to work. You're going to have continuity to answer your phone calls from your tablet. They just make it simpler, and simpler, my friends, is better.
So I heard a whole lot of Apple fanboying over there. I didn't hear any valid points. So point number one that you brought up is that, oh, the feature that blah, blah, blah might not work on another Android phone. What if you have a Galaxy S5 and some, you know what? How excited were the Apple fanboys when Apple started putting accelerometers and gyroscopes in their phone? They were like, oh my God, now it has a compass. Did they complain? Did they complain that, oh, now I don't understand how to use this compass. This is so confusing. You know what? They probably did, because they're Apple fanboys. That is why the argument for a simple pick it up and use it experience. Wow, this is just like my last phone. What tremendous innovation. That's what you get on the Apple side. You get the same damn experience every single time, and you get a last-gen experience anyway because they're innovating so much slower. The industry went, okay, we're going to have, and you know what? It hasn't always been that way. There was a time when Apple actually seemed to give a crap about releasing a technologically advanced phone. The iPhone 4, great example. High screen pixel density. Fantastic. How long did it take them to make a reasonable sized iPhone after that? They're like, oh, look, we added an extra row of icons. It all comes back to the icons. Extra row of icons? Wow, look, so amazing. And then finally, years after the release of the Galaxy Note, they acknowledge people's desire for larger phones, and then they miss the point entirely. The point of the larger phone is the more tablet-like, large battery experience with which, quite frankly, Apple has their head stuck so far up their asses about delivering a long battery life experience that I don't think they're ever going to get it. They're just going to keep making it thinner and keep making it so that if you have to GPS somewhere, which, let's face it, most Apple users are going to have to do. What, actually figure out where they're going today? No, they need their phone to tell them that. You're going to run out of battery halfway through the day. You're going to be carrying around half a dozen stupid battery banks in your pocket. And what good do your fancy, shiny, by the way, more expensive apps do you if your phone is dead?
I mean, so what I'm hearing from you is that being first is better. If that was true, how's your new Windows mobile phone working out that you've been using? We'd all be using Windows mobile phones. The first to come out was always better. I would rather have something that's going to work and work well than be a beta tester for some new technology. That's how was Google Wallet when it first came out? Did everybody use it immediately? No. Apple fine-tuned what they needed to do, and they got that right when Apple Wallet finally came out and Apple Pay came out. So now you can actually use the technology instead of just having it there and be like, look what we can do. And your argument that phones are going to die, I would argue that the 6+ battery life is amongst the best phone battery life out there. And you don't need fancy power saving mode that turns the screen off and limits functionality because the battery is actually going to last you. And calling into question whether or not Apple fans can navigate using GPS, I mean, that just seems petty at this point. And invoking the fanboy name because people prefer one over the other, you know that's silly. Your commenters do it, and you always say, don't pick sides. The side you pick, though, and I'm going to say it right here, is wrong.
Okay, so I have to address being first to market not necessarily being better. I don't think either of us could enter this debate and even manage to defend Windows Phone. In fact, that might have been hilarious. We should have had a three-sided coin, with one of them being Windows Phone, and that side should have just said, like, the bitch of the argument on it, because you were going to get owned regardless. But what I think you have to agree about is Apple prides itself on being innovative, and quite frankly, nothing they showed off at WDC was innovative. In fact, they even made me look stupid because I thought their window snapping feature, one of the huge complaints I had about OS X was poor window management. I thought that exposing the rest of your windows to pop up the other side was innovative. Turns out that's been in the Windows 10 preview all this time. So that's Apple's fault, clearly, that I didn't know that.
So what I'm hearing is you not wanting to talk about iOS versus Android. Talk about another topic because you know that you've lost. And if you thought WWDC was boring, were you at Google I/O? I almost fell asleep. I had to be making jokes that I had to pee the whole time on Twitter because I was so boring they were talking about. You know what's exciting? Let's spend 45 minutes talking about APIs. Nothing sexier than that.
45 minutes talking about APIs.
Oh,
that's basically all Apple did.
Sexy APIs. Apple brought a show. If we're going to talk conferences,
that is all.
Apple
now
brought
you
a
can
show.
make it.
Apple brought a show. Drake was there. The Weeknd was there. They had a sense of humor about themselves.
Who cares if Drake is there? Okay, hold on a second. Let's talk
come on,
APIs for a second.
You're in Canada. Everybody loves Drake in Canada,
Apple's
right?
innovation is that you can make standalone apps for the iWatch whose screen doesn't even turn on unless you do a gesture. That's innovation. Google Wear Android Wear, whatever, it doesn't matter. Google's Android Wear has had apps running directly off of the device since ages ago.
And you should probably say, yeah, they've had apps running directly off the watch from ages ago, but only running off the watch for half the day because then the battery's going to die. I think you know what? This breaks it down for me. Does your Android phone that you bought, did it come with an antivirus software installed on it?
It doesn't need to. I have never had a virus.
But the fact that most Android phones come pre-installed with antivirus should tell you absolutely everything. Maybe on iOS it'll give you can't customize. You can't add widgets to your home screen. I think that's a big flaw in the OS. But at least I know when I put in my bank information into my phone that it's going to stay on my phone and not end up in somebody else's database somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what you think, smart guy. I'm sure the NSA has got it figured out, and you're American, so you're compromised regardless. Bam.
Oh, come on. You're going to play that card? Oh, it's the NSA, big scary. We're talking about OSs here. iOS is more secure than Android. Every day of the week, every day of the year, it's a more secure operating system.
Okay, so you're going to pull up that stupid Windows Phone low blow. Fine, then. Why don't you go use BlackBerry, smart guy?
Well, whoa. Don't get hasty.
Hold on a second. All of a sudden,
don't get hasty. Now, that's not necessary.
I've run out of gas.
We're done. Let the audience decide.
Yeah.
Who
so let's
won?
let the audience decide. So I think you've clearly run out of ways to defend Apple's shiny phones that only have one
I could
button.
do this all day. They don't need more buttons because the OS is elegant. You don't need to throw a ton of buttons on there to do what you need to do.
The OS is elegant. You know what's elegant? Double tapping the home button to bring down the one-handed mode and move all your icons down because they can't build a UI that's actually optimized for the size of their phone. And on that note, I want to leave it up to you guys, the audience, to tell us who you thought won. Leave a like on my video, which is linked in John's video description, and leave a like on John's video, which is linked in my video description, to let us know who you thought won the iOS versus Android debate. And if you would like to see this format return, drop a comment under the videos, and maybe even suggest some topics, because I certainly had some fun making this video.
These are a blast. Linus, thank you, and come vote on my side for the more elegant OS and the better hardware.
So that's how you're going to play it.
I'm just
you're
saying.
You're gonna act all gracious. You're gonna thank me for
saying.
participating.
I'm always thanking you.
And then with your fancy pants Zeke wireless touch-sensitive headphones over there, you're gonna tell people to vote for you. Well, I'm gonna tell people, don't vote for a phony. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.
Bye, guys.